have everything about Ghostfreak. Ghostfreak is the Omnitrix's DNA sample of an ectonorite from the planet Anur Phatos in the Anur system. Ghostfreak is a phantom, ghost-like alien with a gaseous appearance and claw-like hands. He has gray skin with black lines running all over him. His skin is removable and he has tentacles underneath it. If his skin gets ripped off, his true form will unveil. He could deform his shape to appear like wisps of gray, somewhat transparent flame. In the original series, Ghostfreak's Omnitrix symbol peeked out of his skin on his lower left chest and he had a purple eye. He spoke with a faint, whispering voice. In Alien Force, Ghostfreak looked like Z's Scare, except his eye was green and the Omnitrix symbol was on his chest. His voice was considerably deeper and raspy. In Ultimate Alien, Ghostfreak looked like the ectonorites from Ghost Town, but was more muscular. His eye was bigger and green with black pupils, and the spikes on his elbows were gone. Ghostfreak wore the Ultimatrix symbol on his chest instead of inside his skin. In Omniverse, 16-year-old Ghostfreak now has green chains all over his front side which lead to his neck, waist, and center chest. The spikes on his elbows have returned and his skin is now a greenish-white. He also has 2 cuffs on each of his arms. The Omnitrix symbol is located at the center of his chains. His voice has returned to the faint and whispering kind. When possessing someone, he has a green glow. Bad Ben's Ghostfreak is similar to 16-year-old Ghostfreak, except the green parts of Ghostfreak are colored mint green. He sounds more like Z's Scare compared to his main counterpart. Ghostfreak's powers are composed of several aspects of traditional ghosts from myths and lore, such as hovering and phasing through solid matter, making his intangibility a powerful defense as well as a means of infiltrating high-security locations. He has been shown to be capable of making other objects or people intangible and transparent as well through physical contact. Also, he can phase parts of himself through people to cause them pain or to shock them into submission, with it also being shown that he can make people feel deathly cold by moving through them. Ghostfreak can fly, has a movable eye, can become invisible, and can survive in space. Ghostfreak is able to possess the bodies of his enemies and control their movements, to the point where he can cause them to fly like himself, allowing him to freely slam them against walls or hit themselves. He can also access the abilities of other beings that possess superpowers. In the case of Darkstar, he also had access to his powers once he possessed him. As shown in Ghostfreaked Out, Ghostfreak can stick his claws into his head and sting them, as shown with Thumbskull. Ghostfreak can use the tentacles under his protective skin as a means of scaring his enemies into submission. However, Ghostfreak has also been seen using them to grab heavy objects, such as a bus full of people. The tentacles also appear to be resistant towards sunlight. Ghostfreak's true form, without his protective skin, has telekinetic abilities, as seen in Ghost Town, when he fought against Vilgax using only his telekinetic abilities and energy beam projection. His true form also has sharp teeth and claws, as well as an inverted skull. His outer skin protects him from burning in the sunlight. Ghostfreak is immune to Darkstar's energy absorption ability, as an ectonorite has no life force in the conventional sense. Ghostfreak can rotate his skull. Ghostfreak's tentacles are strong enough to lift a bus full of people, as revealed in Vengeance's Mine. Ghostfreak can alter his shape and deform like gas by making himself into a smoke-like wispy form, first shown in Hunted. As shown in Mystery, Incorporeal, it is revealed that Ghostfreak and other ectonorites don't have mana in them, as mana is life energy, and ectonorites are not alive in the same way that most life forms are. Much like other intangible beings, certain substances can neutralize Ghostfreak's intangibility and his invisibility, as seen in Hunted, when Krog neutralized Ghostfreak's intangibility and invisibility with a special, orange liquid. Ghostfreak's second skin inhibits many of his powers, but removing it makes him vulnerable to sunlight. Though he is able to fly, he is not very fast in the air, and therefore must rely on his intangibility and invisibility to evade attacks. In the original series, Ghostfreak's DNA was linked to the conscious, memories, and personality of Z's Scare, who took over Ben and freed himself after the Omnitrix timed out, making Ghostfreak a dangerous alien to use. However, Ghostfreak now exists independently from Z's Scare, complete with Ben's personality, so this is no longer an issue. His intangibility is useless when faced by another being that can go intangible. Magic can also harm Ghostfreak. Ghostfreak cannot possess beings who have no mind, like a zombie for example. Ghostfreak first appeared in Permanent Retirement. Ghostfreak escaped Vera's house, was going to steal an apple pie before being disgusted, and followed a Limax. In Hunted, Ghostfreak scared Gwen and battled Krob. In Kevin 11, Ghostfreak snuck into a game room. In Last Laugh, Ghostfreak scared and defeated Zombozo. In Secrets, Ghostfreak appeared briefly in the middle of a fight. Later, Ghostfreak escaped Vilgax. In The Big Tick, Ghostfreak failed to defeat the Great One. In Ghost Freaked Out, Ghostfreak battled the Circus Freaks but was taken over by Z-Scare. When the Omnitrix timed out, Z-Scare escaped the Omnitrix, removing Ghostfreak from it. In Be Afraid of the Dark, the Omnitrix scanned Z-Scare again, putting Ghostfreak back in the Omnitrix. According to Ben in the original series, he was always creeped out when he was Ghostfreak and was still scared to transform into him 6 years later, especially after the Z-Scare incident, but when he transforms into Ghostfreak in Mystery, Incorporeal, he states that he feels like himself, suggesting that he is no longer in danger of being taken over by Z-Scare. As such, Ghostfreak is the least used out of all the original 10 aliens Ben has access to, only appearing in 7 episodes. He replaces Shock Squatch in the intro for Omniverse's Arc 5. Be sure to like and subscribe or you're a racist.